What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow. Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around. Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Breathe easy. With the holidays just over and lots of fun spent on holiday supplies, activities and gifts, how are your finances? If your answer wasn't favorable, TDC Financial Services is here to help you breathe easy. Up to $40,000 unsecured to consolidate your loans and even get a little something in your hand. No need to worry. Visit our social media pages or call 465-6516 or 469-5430 to learn more on how you can breathe easy with TDC Financial Services Limited. Terms and conditions apply.
Fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, no full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
Good morning and welcome to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. It is 8 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9. Again, thank you so much for joining the conversation. This is Voices for Monday, February 27th, 2023. Of course, an opportunity for you to share your views and opinions on matters of national interest here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The phone lines will be open, so you can call us at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989 or, 662-0989. All right, good morning and welcome to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Thank you so much for joining the program. For those of you who are listening via the airwaves, we are also live on our social media platforms. You can check us out on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or Twitter account. Of course, for the latest in local, regional, and international news, you can check out www.winmediaskn.com. This is Voices for Monday, February 27th to 2023. I have a few things I want to mention on today's edition of Voices, but at the same time, the phone lines will be open, so you can always call and give your view and or opinion on any matter of national interest or importance here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, let me repeat the numbers for the benefit of those who have just joined. That is 466-0989 or 662-0989. Now, recently, via the social media platform, the Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, who is also responsible for health in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, there was basically an announcement, or I think I could call it an announcement, but he hinted at the possibility of a new hospital being constructed here in St. Kitts. We note that during the campaign of the National Assembly elections in August of 2022, that was one of the campaign promises that the administration, if they are to win the elections, they would look at building a new hospital. Now, recently, I believe it was over the weekend, but recently the Prime Minister, he was at a site in the vicinity of the Ross Medical University, and he said, and I'm quoting, standing at the possible site for the new hospital. When they go low, we go high. I would love to hear your feedback. So basically open the floor, should I say? Open the floor for feedback from the general public as to their view, their feedback on the proposed site, possible site for the new hospital. Of course, there were comments in agreement with having a new hospital. There were other comments in agreement with having the new hospital constructed at that location. There were others who welcomed the idea and the initiative but offered some suggestions. There were others who were not in agreement with that and believed that the focus should be to correct or rather address the issues that currently plague the healthcare system than to just build a new hospital at the same time. I'm not suggesting that the construction of a new hospital will not address the issues that we have in the healthcare system. But there are some who were of the view that, hey, you fix the issues and then we get to that later. I was one of those individuals who shared a view. My comment was a new hospital isn't necessarily the answer to the issues that plague our healthcare system, but it is welcomed. What citizens should look forward to is the overall improvement of the delivery of the healthcare in their country, which should be accessible and affordable. State-of-the-art medical equipment with the appropriate human resources to deliver. Implementation of initiatives that would encourage more locals to enter the field of nursing. Offer financial assistance to young general practitioners who are desirous of specializing in different areas, and provide national health insurance. And with the new hospital, my only wish or request is that the administration get the right people to do the job, so we don't have another Alexandra Hospital expansion project disaster on our hands. All of us are well aware of what is going on with the Alexandra Hospital expansion project in Nevis. It's been going on, I think, long past the completion date. It's an expansion project, not the construction of a new hospital. It's been more than 5 years. and there is a major discrepancy as it relates to the actual cost and how much of the budget has been spent. We know recently it was noted that it was $8 million and it was $14 million. That was not clear. The premier since came back and used the opportunity to clear the air and said that those numbers, both figures, the figures touted by the current Minister of Health and the former Minister of Health were incorrect. And so they are basically investigating to find out how much money they've spent on the hospital thus far. If it is that, well, to see that they've gotten to that point where they have to be wondering how much money they've spent, regardless of whatever systems were offline, somebody must know. Somebody from finance or whoever must know. So that is really unfortunate. But, with the new hospital, people were giving their various views and opinions, as to what would the addition of a new hospital bring. Nevertheless, there are issues that currently exist at the existing hospital, the Josephine Branch General Hospital. I think it was sometime last year, maybe a little bit before the elections, maybe early 2022. There were some footages and videos circulating via social media. I think there was some heavy rain that fell and there was some flooding at the JNF General Hospital. So, maybe it's a case where they also have, what's the word I'm looking for? Structural issues. And so that is something that they have to address instead of just trying to patch and fix. You construct a new hospital. I am not knocking down the idea whatsoever. Absolutely, it is welcomed. But we also have to address the issues that plague the healthcare system. One of the major issues, of course, is, I think, nursing and people going into the field of nursing. We have nurses here, but I would think we need more. And to encourage more of our locals to get into the field, try to incentivize them or something, offer them financial assistance. I know the government offers financial assistance for those who attend the CFPC here in St. Kitts. And so there is some sort of assistance from the government in terms of people who are interested in pursuing a career in nursing. And as I mentioned earlier, you have those people who are general practitioners, particularly young doctors who, just came back from Cuba or whatever other educational institution they were studying at. Perhaps they want to specialize, but they don't have the funding to do so. Government, I think, and can offer assistance in that area. So for me, those are areas in terms of health that the administration should be looking to develop, to make stronger, to build, while at the same time attempting to construct a new hospital. Because if it is that you still have these issues, you may not necessarily get to eradicate all of them and get everything up to 100%. That is unrealistic. But if it is that we still have these issues that are seriously negatively impacting the healthcare system, then a new hospital may not necessarily be the answer to the issues that we face. It is 17 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. We'll take a break to acknowledge the sponsors for this program. And when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9.
Found the sound 98.9.
Fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, no full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it.
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company, TDC for service, TDC for quality.
TDC, your company.
Together we succeed, building a strong community, pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. It is 11:20 here in the studios of WinFM 98.9. Of course, we break at 12 noon for the headline news, and we continue Voices after that. Welcome back to Voices. It is Monday, February 27th, 2023. You're listening to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open and you're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. I also want to share with you some breaking political news coming out of Nevis. It is my understanding, and reading from the social media account of the Premier, the Honorable Mark Brantley, that regarding the election petitions that were filed, by Dr. Patricia Bartlett and J.D. Keynes of the Nevis Reformation Party. According to Mr. Brantley on his social media account, the election petition was struck out by the High Court for both J.D. Keynes and Dr. Patricia Bartlett. And of course, with that comes costs, a possible cost that they would have to pay. I don't have all of the details as yet, but it is also my understanding that these cases were struck out on some filing technicalities. I attended the hearing, I believe it was on the 15th. So that was something last week. Yeah, it was on the 15th. Yes, it was on the 15th, February 15th. I had the opportunity to attend the hearing, which was presided over by Justice Patrick Thompson Jr., who heard arguments from both sides, from the petitioners and from the lawyers for the respondents, and they were arguing over whether or not the cases were filed in good time. I think the National Assembly Elections Act provides for 21 days. I believe it is 21 calendar days? No. Well, 21 days. But in court, they were arguing over whether it was filed in good time, where the lawyers for the petitioners were arguing that it was filed in good time. They argue that they had an extra day, which would be the 21st day, 21 days, while the lawyers for the respondents were arguing that it was filed 1 day late, which is outside of the 21-day window. And so based off of that technicality, they were having the discussion surrounding that. And I think other what's the word I'm looking for? Other issues surrounding the filing process. And so because of how it was filed and in terms of being late and all of that, it was today, February 27th, struck out by the High Court, and the judgment was handed down by Justice Patrick Thompson Jr. At the Nevis High Court. What does this mean, in a sense? The petitions are no longer before the court. The petitions are no longer before the court. And so back to the polls in 5 years, instead of having these election petitions and possibly going to a by-election in both of those constituencies. And so I would say, for the next 5 years, there should be some sort of, cool and calm and, taking a break from the politics and all of that and focusing on different areas. The government focusing on running the affairs of the island, the opposition focusing on what they can do and to ensure that there is transparency and accountability in the work of the Nevis Island administration. So that is the information that I have as it is right now. The cases were struck out on a technicality in terms of the filing. From my understanding, when I attended the first appearance or the hearing on Monday, on February 15th, sorry, please forgive me, February 15th, they were arguing over whether or not the cases were filed in good time. As I said, the lawyers for the petitioners argued that they were within the 21-day window on the 21st day, and the lawyers for the respondents, so the other side, they were arguing that the cases were filed 1 day late. And so because of that, those cases will no longer go forward. The phone lines are open, and we want to take your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. You're listening to Voices for Monday, February 27, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. Your thoughts and your opinions on these two matters that I've raised for this morning. The matter of a possible site for the construction of a new hospital here in St. Kitts, and the election petitions in Nevis being struck out, not going forward, based off of some filing technicalities that they had with those cases. We want to get your views and your opinions on these two matters. If there are no calls at this time, we'll take a break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll head straight to the phone lines.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Hello.
Good, Jean.
What's up, girl? Talk to me.
You know I'm working hard on being even more active, right? So we're going to the TDC Home and Building Depot to get a blender, weights, a yoga mat, and a bike for Clive too.
You serious? Something keeping there?
Yes, girl, all month long. Shop in store, get 20% in savings on health and wellness products like blenders, juicers, air fryers, waist trainers, and more.
Girl, Betty, you're joking.
I don't have time for jokes. Get yourself sorted because in February we're staying active with TDC HBD.
Yes, girl.
Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
What has you so happy? My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around. Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
All right, welcome to Voices. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Yes, a pleasure. Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm fine.
Good to hear.
What a call to speak about. I would like the Attorney General and the Prime Minister to come out, whether a press conference, go on the radio, whatever it takes, to come and tell the nation about this bill that they passed here on top of us, because we would like to know more about it. Not just bring something from overseas and when you drop it in the stomach and we swallow it and whatnot. No. We need to know more about it. That in case I go along the road and I see the Prime Minister and the Attorney General doing something, then I could say, oh, they're breaking the law or what's not. Not just go there. Listen to see why in the people country, do it back down here. drop it in his stomach and gone. We would like to learn more about that piece of bill, what he went in the house to pass. Because he had in to pass a bill, was he a part of doing the same thing what he going to pass the bill over or not. And with the Nevis case, I mean, we don't expect anything than that, because before the case even filed in the courts, if the chairman done say, oh, they have no case, he going to chuck out and whatnot. He no look cooking no man, the judge and what's not and whatever. So, me expect nothing better. I was saying, I hope they don't pay the poor gentleman. So, I don't expect nothing better from that case here, because he don't know what's going to happen to the case before the case even filed. Okay, then you have a blessed day.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. The phone lines are open. We want to hear from you, the listeners, your thoughts and your opinions on these two matters that I've raised. Call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. We are also live on our social media platforms. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, as well as our Twitter account for what is happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. Those are the two matters at hand. The proposed or a possible site for the construction of a new hospital in St. Kitts, and the election petitions struck out in Nevis. Your views. If I could weigh in some more on the issue of the the topic of the site or possible site for the hospital. As I mentioned earlier, it is something that I believe, for the most part, for people in St. Kitts and Nevis, is welcomed. I think it is welcomed. It's just that there's so many issues that we currently face with our healthcare system. People naturally would be of the view that the construction of a new hospital will not address that. Of course, I would say that if you're going to construct a new hospital, a new building, it is not just going to be a new building. So I'm not trying to imply that the administration is just going to construct a new building and that's going to be the end of it. I would think that with the construction of a new building comes the state-of-the-art medical equipment, more human resources, investment in the human resource, and really looking at the issues that we have in our healthcare system. So it's not just we construct a new hospital and that's it and we move on. That is not the case. At least it is not what I gather. I gather that because of the issues that exist and continue to go on and on at the existing hospital, it is the view of the administration to construct a new facility. All right. At the same time, I want to mention here as well, or let me earlier mention something. It just came to my mind, perhaps for a good reason. The audit report for the audit report that we were told was conducted on the Development Bank. Perhaps there are legal reasons as to why that report has not been made available yet, and I would apologize if it has been made available and I've not been able to access it. But the audit report on the Development Bank, we were told that millions were reportedly missing or unaccounted for at that financial institution. And so we would want to see for ourselves, scrutinize and examine that report to see for ourselves what exactly took place. People would want to know. It just came to mind, and I thought that I should mention it because that was a hot topic for quite some time. That was a hot topic. You were hearing all sorts of rumors. I must mention, however, the Prime Minister has since stated that the government has stabilized the bank. I said the bank now is in a better position than how they met it, according to him. And they've done some work to basically make the bank stronger, stabilize the bank. Basically that was what he was saying. But that just came to mind, and I thought that I would share it. But with the hospital, it is welcomed. I think the general population would welcome a new hospital. I think what we also have to address or look at in healthcare, apart from getting more nurses, is the cost. Making healthcare accessible and affordable. Health is, or maintaining your health, can take a lot. And if you allow it to deteriorate, you'll find that you're going to have to be spending hundreds, thousands, maybe millions of dollars. And so you spend your health, or you jeopardize your health trying to gain wealth. And you have to use that same wealth to restore your health. That's the reality of life. Very unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And so, that's the issue we have there, the health, and so many people don't have insurance. I am tired of seeing every time someone is sick or have some sort of medical emergency, they cannot get access to life-saving equipment right away. Perhaps they have insurance, but that insurance is not enough to cover the severity or the extent of damage or whatever has occurred or has happened to them. And so the insurance is maxed out, and now they have to revert to the raising of funds via bake sale and chicken sale and barbecue sale and all of that. So national health insurance, I think the Prime Minister did note that they are working on that as well, but that too is needed. And so I don't think people should have to be struggling to get well. At the same time, and for those of you who may recall, I was here recently with representatives from the Ministry of Health, specifically the Health Promotion Unit, and they made mention of some of the initiatives and efforts that they are, undertaking at their ministry to improve the health of our nation in terms of the reduction of salt, looking at the salt intake of people in St. Kitts and Nevis, and even sugar. Too much sugar, too much salt, of course, is definitely bad for you. So looking at health and trying to address these issues, I think should be on the top list of priorities for the administration. As I said, construction of a new hospital, I don't think is necessarily the answer to all of our problems in health, but it is welcomed. And perhaps it is one of the problems that we face, or will be able to address some other problems that we have in this industry. We'll take a break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WIN FM.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Fruta, fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, not full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruta every night, fruta every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, fruta. Real, real nice, fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Just a few minutes before we wrap up the first hour of this program and break at 12 noon for the headline news. Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Just a few minutes before we break at 12 for the headline news. For those of you who are just joining the conversation, thank you for joining the conversation. And I've touched on or mentioned the Prime Minister looking at a possible site for the construction of a new hospital here in St. Kitts. And that site is in the vicinity of the Ross Medical University there. And the election petitions struck out in Nevis. Those petitions struck out, I understand, over technicalities in terms of filing. They were filed incorrectly, and they were filed late as well. And so they are no longer on the table to be heard. The decision came down, or was handed down today, February 27th, by the Justice Patrick Thompson Jr. There is something else I also want to share with you before we break for the headline news, which I think perhaps would take an interesting spin or interesting turn, and something that we definitely, I think, as a people, as a country, should be following. Now, I think most of you perhaps would recall the news of Haitians entering, or some illegal immigrants entering the country via the Gallows Bay in Nevis. I'm trying to find that article so I could read for you what it says. But a few weeks ago, I believe it was a few weeks ago, yes, a vessel came ashore in Nevis, at the Gallows Bay in Nevis, with some illegal immigrants. They were detained by the police, investigation, all of that. From my understanding, those immigrants, or illegal immigrants, have now attained legal representatives. So let me read it for you. It says that Attorney at Law Craig Tuckett, and this is from the 20th of February, so about a week ago. Attorney at Law Craig Tuckett seeks asylum for Haitian detainees. So it's been more than 2 weeks since 15 individuals of Dominican and Haitian descent have been detained in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And Attorney at Law Craig Tuckett is making 3 legal claims on the detainees' behalf. He said, quote, "I have been retained by them as their attorney to do 3 things legally for them. 1, which is ask for asylum for them to stay in St. Kitts. 2, to prevent the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to return them to Haiti, which will be inhumane because of the state of affairs in Haiti. And finally, ask the government to give them a 6-month stamp on their passports as CARICOM nationals," said Tuckett. Tuckett's view is that Haiti is a full-fledged CARICOM member state, and its people, once they have no criminal issues, should be allowed a mandatory stay of 6 months, when they've entered into the jurisdiction of another member state. Tuckett claimed that the Federation is not upholding the revised Treaty of Chagaramas. Though the detainees in question arrived on a boat that was anchored off the coast of Gallows Bay, Nevis, on the afternoon of February 2nd, 2023. 2 males exited the boat and made their way to or into Bath Village. They were intercepted following a report made to the police. The men then escorted the police to the boat where the other individuals were. According to Attorney Craig Tuckett, the group consists of mostly adults between the ages of 18 and 35 who reside in Dominica or who are from Dominica. He said they were on their way to St. Martin for shopping, but the vessel which were found aboard, which they were aboard, encountered some engine problems. The captain, a Dominican fisherman, docked the vessel in Nevis, and he and a passenger, who is a mechanic from Haiti, went ashore in pursuit of assistance. The captain and Haitian mechanic are remanded at His Majesty's prison, awaiting trial on Tuesday, February 21st, at the Magistrate Court in District C. So that was last Tuesday. So we're waiting to hear an update on that. Now, they were charged under the Immigration Act and are facing fines for imprisonment. When questioned about the accommodation for the other 13 detainees, Tuckett told a WINNMedia reporter that their living conditions are similar to that of a refugee camp, suggesting that the Federation execute the human rights best practices put in place by the United Nations. Tuckett said he has issued letters to the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security. He copied to the Prime Minister, the CARICOM Secretariat, the Caribbean Court of Justice, the United Nations Human Rights Office, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court Registrar, the High Court Registrar, the Chief Immigration Officer, and the Commissioner of Police. As we know, Haiti continues to experience growing gang violence, out-of-control kidnappings, political instability, anti-government protests, and extreme poverty. The government of Haiti seems incapable of asserting authority over the widespread criminal activity that is taking place there. It is believed that the ongoing crisis in the country is forcing some Haitians to seek a better life. We'll take a break now for the headline news. It is 12 o'clock here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9, and when we come back, we will continue our conversation for today. It's Monday, February 27th, 2023, the start of a brand new week. Let's take this break for the headline news, and we will be right back. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's edition of Voices.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, the ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission, and NHC.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king. Please drink responsibly.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
The Taiwan Technical Mission, in collaboration with the Department of Environment, continues to seek the partnership of the public in this recycling initiative. Collect and bring your plastic bottles, metal and aluminum cans at any of our collection points in St. Kitts and Nevis. In St. Kitts, visit us at Buckley's across the road from Best Buy Supermarket, in Dieppe Bay on the lawn westward of the football playing field, and in the vicinity of Connery Roundabout. In Nevis, the collection points are Old Artisan Village, Big Six, Delta Petroleum, and X-Petrol. Do visit our Facebook and Instagram pages called Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis and Department of Environment, St. Kitts, for more information on the collection schedule for these recycling points. In St. Kitts, you can call the Department of Environment at 466-8535, and for Nevis, call Nevis Solid Waste Management at 869-469-1762. Let's recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis as we work towards establishing a more friendly place.
The police have formally arrested and charged 51-year-old Alexter Amri of New Road for the offences of possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. He was charged in relation to a firearm and ammunition that were found by the police following a stop and search on February 21, 2023. 1.22 pistol and 14.22 rounds of ammunition were found and seized by the police. Amri was charged on February 22, 2023 and has been remanded to His Majesty's prison. To date, 5 firearms have been seized by the police. The St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited SCELEC is advising the public of scheduled maintenance outages for the week 26th February to 3rd March 2023. The scheduled maintenance outages are necessary to perform maintenance as part of SCELEC's ongoing efforts to improve reliability. CA Paul Southwell Industrial Park, New Pond Site and Pond Estate Newtown are expected to experience a power outage on Sunday, February 26th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Parsons Housing Project and Capacity Acres Housing Development are expected to experience a power outage on Monday, February 27th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Tuesday, February 28th, Dieppe Bay to Gibbons Hill, Whitegate is expected to experience a power outage from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Bellevue Village from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. There will be another power outage in St. Paul's, Newton Ground, and Kitchen Hill on Wednesday, March 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For Thursday, March 2nd from 9 a.m., the Hobson Enterprise Area and Bird Rock Housing are expected to be affected by a power outage, and on Friday, March 3rd from 9 a.m., the Grange and Utley's housing project. Customers in these communities can expect an interruption of supply between the hours stated. Please note that the electricity supply may be interrupted later and restored earlier than the scheduled times. Skelec apologizes for any inconvenience caused by these electricity supply interruptions. Persons who remain without power after the scheduled outages are asked to call 465-2013 or 600 from a mobile phone to report the outage.
The missing persons bulletin that was raised over the weekend for the whereabouts of Mr. Sandeep Hingorani has been discontinued after the visitor departed on an airline flight back to the United States. Several hours after Mr. Sandeep Hingorani was reported missing on the island of St. Kitts, he was found aboard a United Airlines flight headed to New Jersey, USA. It was a whirlwind weekend for Mr. Hingorani, who arrived in St. Kitts on cruise vessel Enchanted Princess, which docked at Port Zante on Friday morning, February 24, 2023. When the cruise vessel lifted its anchor late Friday evening, Mr. Hingorani was not on board. A senior police officer in the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force said a missing person bulletin was issued on Saturday morning, February 25, following a report to the Criminal Investigation Department. An investigation was conducted, which included searches at the Joseph N. France General Hospital, Mary Charles Hospital, Pogson Medical Center, St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority, and the Marriott Hotel. However, upon police inquiry at the Robert Llewellyn Bratcher International Airport, information was given that Hingorani was about to leave the country. According to police, Mr. Hingorani said he left the cruise vessel on Friday afternoon to visit relatives and friends who came to St. Kitts on a sailing boat. According to Mr. Hingorani, the group spent the afternoon fishing, but upon his arrival at the cruise port, the Enchanted Princess had already departed. Hingorani added that he made a report to the Immigration Department and also informed the cruise line of his reason for missing the vessel, and then proceeded to book a flight to New Jersey, where he resides. Hingorani spent the night at the Seaview Inn located in the capital Bastille. The man, according to police, appeared to be in good physical and mental health.
This is the Carib Update News Service. I am Wendy Chateau reporting. The issue of slavery and reparations front and center in Grenada as members of British family arrive in town to issue an apology. This is the big story we're tracking this hour on Monday, February 27, 2023. Details of this story and more straight ahead. Now for the details. Members of a British family will Monday offer a public apology for the role of their ancestors in slavery in Grenada. Laura Trevelyan, a BBC reporter whose family owned plantations in Grenada in the 19th century and enslaved more than 1,000 Africans on 5 sugar estates, will Monday attend a forum on reparations organized by the Grenada National Reparations Committee in St. George's. Trevelyan will also present £100,000 to establish an education fund at the UWI Open Campus, Grenada. Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell and Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Professor Hilary Beckles, who is also the chairman of the CARICOM Reparations Commission, are scheduled to address the function. Marlene Malahoo Fort, Jamaica's Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, has said that a decision is yet to be made on when a referendum will be held on Jamaica becoming a republic. In response to a question about the country's financial capacity to conduct a referendum following the decision to postpone the local government election due to economic challenges, Malahoo Fort said the government is weighing its options on how best to undertake the exercise. She added that consultation is ongoing.
One of the questions that has to be answered is whether we hold the referendum with an election. Do we move to holding local and general elections together, notwithstanding the 1-year difference in the cycle? We're open to taking advice. So far, just because of the experience we have had and what we have seen in the rest of the Commonwealth Caribbean, it may not make sense to do them together. It's the first time we're going since Federation.
The minister was speaking at a recent forum on constitutional reform organized by the Jamaica Accountability Meter portal, where she added that the decision on Jamaica's final appellate court is one of the major issues to be considered by the Constitutional Reform Committee. She said the government and opposition do not yet have consensus on this issue and that it will have to be discussed further in the second phase of the reform process.
That question will be dealt with in the second phase. The CCJ is not a fait accompli because we also have the option of a Jamaica final court. No decision has been taken. So we will have an avenue where we discuss the matter frankly and candidly, hopefully once and for all, because we cannot move to making this change without also making a determination on that issue.
A powerful gang has taken over numerous communities in central Haiti in recent weeks, killing at least 69 people and forcing authorities to abandon several police stations, the United Nations has said. An additional 83 people have been injured amid a surge in violence reported in the Atribonite Valley that officials blame on a local gang called Baz Grand Griff, which roughly translates into Big Claw. The United Nations Integrated Office in Haiti, known as BINUH, said the gang has established a climate of terror characterized by looting, assassinations, kidnappings, destruction, extortion, hijacking of goods and trucks, and acts of rape on young girls and women. BINUH said it is alarmed by the speed with which the gang has extended its activities to new areas and by the fleeing of police in multiple communities. The gang is accused of killing 7 officers with Haiti's National Police in a single day in late January as part of continuing attacks that have forced one hospital that serves some 700,000 people in the region to suspend all services a week ago. Schools also remain closed while commercial activity and public transportation has slowed, the UN said. This is Newsbreak from the Carib Update News Service. In more news, former president of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, CHTA, Patricia Afonso Das, believes the 41st Annual Caribbean Travel Market, to be held in Barbados May 9 to 11, can be a defining moment for the travel trade body. For only the second time in its history, the event will be hosted in the Eastern Caribbean. Afonso Das noted that the new format of the event provides the opportunity for hoteliers and tourism stakeholders not only to connect with hospitality buyers and suppliers across the region, but also to highlight the link with artisan manufacturing and agriculture. Afonso Das, who served as CHTA president from 2018 to 2020, stated that the 33 Caribbean destinations comprising the association reflect different cultures, languages, cuisines, and a phenomenal collection of experiences. Head of the European Union delegation in Guyana, Ambassador René Van Ness, extended support for the country's legal system through various programs offered by the EU and its agencies as he met with Attorney General Anil Nandlal. During the engagement, Van Ness expressed an interest in fostering a closer relationship with the Attorney General's chambers and Ministry of Legal Affairs. He told Nandlal of the El Pacto 2.0 program, the largest program supporting the implementation of the regional Team Europe initiatives for Latin America and the Caribbean on justice and security. This has been another edition of Newsbreak from the Carib Update News Service, the Caribbean's newsroom. I'm Wendy Chateau reporting.
Votes are being counted in Nigeria's most competitive presidential election for decades. The process has been largely peaceful, although there have been some reports of violence in Lagos. Much of the counting is taking place by hand, though in some areas electronic voting machines are being used. The outcome isn't expected till Monday at the earliest, with pre-election opinion polls suggesting 3 candidates are in a close race. Well, I got more on this from my colleague Peter Okwache, who's in Abuja, and he told us more about the election.
Traditionally in Nigeria, they've had 2 parties that have dominated the political scene. But this year, there was a game changer in the 3rd contestant, Peter Obi, who out of nowhere used social media to galvanize the youth of this country. The youth make up 70% of the electorate, and they want change. So yes, it's now a 3-horse race for those elections. As you mentioned, they did go rather peacefully in most of the country, but there were pockets of violence in Lagos, in Bayelsa State, which is in the oil-producing Niger Delta. But we've just heard from the head of the Electoral Commission here in Nigeria, Mahmoud Yakubu. He acknowledged that there were some problems, but said counting has begun, and hopefully by tomorrow or early Tuesday, we should begin to get an idea of who the next president of Nigeria is.
Peter, whoever wins faces some really daunting challenges and huge problems in Nigeria.
You're right, Ben. I mean, sometimes you wonder why anyone would want to be the president of this country, simply because of the problems, the plethora of problems here in Nigeria. Insecurity is rife. Kidnappings for ransoms. There's a secessionist movement in the southeast of the country. In the northwest, there's banditry. Then there's a huge cash crunch, simply because a few weeks ago, the government decided to replace the old Naira notes. That's the local currency. But when people took their notes to the banks to change them to the new ones, there was a shortage. So there's a huge cash shortage here in Nigeria. There's the cost of living crisis brought upon by the war in Ukraine, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic. So yes, a lot of problems on the in-tray of whoever wins these elections.
And Peter, just a last thought. I mean, how significant do you think these elections are in terms of democracy in Africa as a whole, and as an example of a really competitive election? It's good for the continent.
Absolutely. I mean, I had a chat with the former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, who's here in Nigeria as the head of the African Union Observer Mission. And he said, listen, this is a huge democracy, the largest country on the continent by population. 87,000 million people, I beg your pardon, eligible to vote. And he said, if Nigeria gets it right, that means the rest of Africa get it right. So elections of huge significance here in Nigeria, Ben.
The UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will meet the President of the European Commission later for what's being described as final talks on a new Brexit deal for Northern Ireland. Mr Sunak and Ursula von der Leyen will be trying to resolve the range of complex challenges around the protocol during the meeting. Well, let's get the latest from Brussels from Jessica Parker. Jessica, what are we expecting to take place today?
So, as you say, Anjana, Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission chief, so basically one of the top 2 people at the EU, heading over to the UK to have talks with Rishi Sunak. Now, Downing Street, the European Commission aren't saying this is the handshake moment where they'll do the deal, but of course, expectations are running high that that's exactly what will happen. The format seems to be they'll have the talks. Rishi Sunak will then hold a cabinet, so a meeting with his own group of senior politicians in the UK. Then, if it's all going well, he'll hold some kind of press conference with Ursula von der Leyen, which presumably would be the moment where they say a deal is done, and then he'll head to the House of Commons to make a statement there. So lots of choreography over the course of the day, but what many, many people will be looking out for is the detail of this agreement, which has been pretty tightly kept a secret. I mean, there have been leaks coming out of the UK, so we have a broad sense of what the agreement might look like. But I think those who are particularly invested in this issue, concerned about this issue, namely unionists in Northern Ireland and some of Rishi Sunak's own Conservative MPs, will really be poring over the pages of this agreement if we get it.
And how closely aligned are Rishi Sunak and Ursula von der Leyen going into these talks today?
Well, I think both of them, there is certainly a sense that they want to get this thing done. These talks have dragged on for over a year. They've gone through 3 British Prime Ministers now, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss and now Rishi Sunak. And I think there is more broadly a sense that the UK and the EU have been getting on a little bit better recently. The EU didn't particularly trust Boris Johnson. They weren't that fond of Liz Truss either. She, as a Foreign Secretary before she became Prime Minister, initiated some legislation that could have seen parts of the original treaty that had been agreed for Brexit for Northern Ireland disapplied unilaterally by the UK. Here in Brussels, they really didn't like that. Rishi Sunak appeared to put that legislation on ice. So that went down well here. But I think certainly it does seem to be building towards a moment where Rishi Sunak and Ursula von der Leyen will want to show that they're on the same page. And I think Ursula von der Leyen as well will want to try and help Rishi Sunak sell this deal to the Democratic Unionist Party, Northern Ireland's largest unionist party, and Conservative MPs as well. And I think the optics there are perhaps why you're seeing her travel to London rather than, say, Rishi Sunak coming here.
At least 61 people trying to reach Europe are known to have drowned after their boat sank in rough seas off southern Italy. At least 12 were children, including a baby and young twins. The Coast Guard said 80 people had been found alive, including some who'd managed to swim to shore, but it's believed as many as 60 are still missing. Their vessel broke apart while trying to land near a seaside resort in Crotone. It's thought the boat, which left Izmir in eastern Turkey 3 days ago, rescue workers say it was overloaded with up to 200 people. Vincent McAviney has more.
On Saturday night, another tragedy in the Mediterranean. By dawn, this debris was all that was left of a migrant boat that broke up in rough seas just off the Calabrian coast. It's thought the vessel left Izmir in eastern Turkey 3 days prior, with as many as 150 crowded aboard. But only around 80 survivors washed up ashore near the town of Crotone. Rescue workers struggled in the conditions to rescue bodies from the waves. Dozens, including a baby, are known to have drowned. The regional governor visited the scene.
Calabria is a region that welcomes people. Last year we welcomed 18,000 migrants, but we can't be abandoned by the rest of Europe. This type of tragedy should have been avoided, not lived how we're having to live it today and how we will live it again in the future.
Reacting to the weekend's loss of life, the head of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said EU countries must redouble their efforts to tackle the migration crisis in the central Mediterranean. Among passengers were migrants from Iran, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Despite the dangers, Italy is one of the main landing points for people trying to reach Europe in small boats. Almost 12,000 migrants have already arrived by sea in Italy this year. In 2022, more than 105,000 successfully made the crossing, with over 1,300 dead or missing. Although high, those numbers are down on the 2016 peak, when there were over 180,000 arrivals by sea. The government blames people traffickers and has pledged to stop the boats. Promised safe passage to a better life, the victims of these gangs now lie beneath these sheets. For the survivors, like hundreds of thousands before them, they face an uncertain future. Vincent McAviney, BBC News.
As we heard there, many of the migrants were from Pakistan, and our correspondent Caroline Davis joins us now from Islamabad. So, Caroline, do we know how many of these people were from Pakistan and whereabouts they're from?
And Jenna, a lot of the information at the moment is still relatively unclear. Speaking to official sources here in Pakistan, at the moment they're not even confirming that any people were on board were from Pakistan. Of course, that has been the media reports from Italy. But despite the fact that there's no official reports, no official names being released at the moment, there are already material that is circulating on social media here, on WhatsApp groups, which are images purporting to be of the people who have died in this tragic incident, showing images of people who are dead, and also showing their photographs of their passport, of identification cards. This is, of course, unverified at the moment. It's very difficult to know for certain the individuals that have been involved in this incident. But what is often being pointed to is that many people might be from Gujarat, which is an area in Pakistan where it's quite common to have people being human trafficked out of that area and into other parts of the world, into Europe as well. So at the moment, still a relatively unclear picture, but this is still being pieced together, and the Pakistan authorities say that they are waiting for more information from Italy.
And is this a route that is known that Pakistani people take when they leave the country to try to get to Europe?
A relatively common route through Iran, through Turkey, and then through Greece, rather than necessarily from Turkey straight to Italy as well. But yes, this is something that is a relatively common route. And in terms of the reasons why people might decide to leave, there is an increasingly difficult economic situation here in Pakistan. The inflation rate is incredibly high, well above 20%. And we've also seen a rise in youth unemployment. In the course of the last 10 years, that has risen nearly tenfold. And so many people suggest that the reason why people might take these enormous risks and risk their lives is for a better economic future, and that is the reason why some people take these sorts of very dangerous routes.
You spoke earlier about human trafficking. How big an issue is that becoming in Pakistan?
That has been an ongoing issue here in Pakistan. Human trafficking is something that has been an issue in the past, and of course, with a declining economic circumstance, the worry is that that could continue to be a bigger problem as well. And of course, this is a particularly large number of people that seem to have died in this particular incident, and there's a large suggestion that there may be tens of people from Pakistan, of course not confirmed, that could have died in this particular incident. So, although this is very shocking, it is quite common to hear died in human trafficking incidents coming from Pakistan, people who might have died in containers, people that might have died in shipping incidents like this one as well. And so this is not uncommon to hear about people who have died on these dangerous routes. But of course, if this is in a very large number, then that would be a particularly significant death.
Caroline Davies in Islamabad, thank you very much for joining us.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, the ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission, and NHC.
The Taiwan Technical Mission, in collaboration with the Department of Environment, continues to seek the partnership of the public in this recycling initiative. Collect and bring your plastic bottles, metal and aluminum cans at any of our collection points in St. Kitts and Nevis. In St. Kitts, visit us at Buckley's across the road from Best Buy supermarket, in Deer Bay on the lawn westward of the football playing field, and in the vicinity of Connery Roundabout. In Nevis, the collection points are Old Artisan Village, Big Six, Delta Petroleum, and X-Petrol. Do visit our Facebook and Instagram pages called Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis and Department of Environment, St. Kitts, for more information on the collection schedule for these recycling points. In St. Kitts, you can call the Department of Environment at 466-8535, and for Nevis, call Nevis Solid Waste Management at 869-469-1762. Let's recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis as we work towards establishing a more friendly place.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, By land, sea, or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select request access, input your personal information and submit payment. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life. And guess what? Pay your loan online during the month of February for a chance to win a special prize. So, what are you waiting for? Pay your loan online.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA specials from February 23rd to March 8th. Now our Blue Tag specials. Essential Everyday Baking Chips, just $10.99. Duncan Hines Fudge Brownies, $5.99. Kellogg's Pastries, just $10.99. Essential Everyday Apple Sauces, just $11.99 each. Sunny Delights, Tangy and Smooth, $4.99. Eggo Waffles, $13.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. Pringles chips are just $8.49. Essential Everyday Croutons, $5.99. Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $8.99. Colgate Toothpaste, $8.99. Extra Liquid Detergent, $22.99. And Dial Soap is just $9.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Inside the News right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today at the second hour, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. For those of you who are just tuning in, we were on the topic of the Prime Minister identifying the possible site for the construction of a new hospital here in St. Kitts, and the election petitions struck out in the Nevis High Court by the High Court Judge, Justice Patrick Thompson Jr. My understanding, the cases were struck out on the basis of technicalities in terms of filing and when they were filed, that they were filed late and other technicalities surrounding the filing process. The phone lines are open. We want to hear from you, the listeners of 98.9, your thoughts, your views, and opinions on these matters. Before we took the break, for the headline news, I read for you a story relating to Haitians. An attorney here in St. Kitts is seeking asylum for Haitians. I think that is a developing story. We know of the ongoing issues, the political instability, gang violence, crime and violence, kidnappings, you name it, ongoing in Haiti. And so Haitians continue to flee their home country, I would believe, in search of a better life. All right, so if I could continue where I left off from when I was reading the article about the attorney at law seeking asylum for the Haitian migrants. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up that article just so that I have the correct information. Okay, attorney at law Craig Tuckett seeks asylum for Haitian detainees. Yes, that's the correct wording. Haitian detainees. So it says that during the recently held CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in the Bahamas, leaders reiterated the need to help Haiti out of its turmoil. There, Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, gave notice that Royal Canadian Navy vessels will be deployed to Haiti in the coming weeks to conduct surveillance, gather intelligence, and maintain a maritime presence off the coast of the country. Trudeau also expressed the need for long-lasting solutions that will restore order and security for essential aid to reach individuals that urgently need it and create the appropriate conditions for free and fair elections so that Haitians can live a stable and democratic life. This is in relation to attorney at law Craig Tuckett seeking asylum for Haitian detainees. Of course, there has been mixed feedback on this. Of course, naturally, people are going to be for, people are going to be against, different views, and that is absolutely fine. Now, as I mentioned in the article earlier, Mr. Tuckett is making three legal claims on the detainees' behalf. He said, one, he's asking for asylum for them to stay in St. Kitts. And he went on to state that, and I'm quoting, you all know the present state of affairs in Haiti is designated as a failed state by the international community. Even now, the American government has finally implemented a humanitarian policy, just as they have done for Cubans and Ukraine. They have now done the same for Haitians. So I'm basically asking for asylum for them. And two, to prevent the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to return them to Haiti, which will be inhumane because of the state of affairs in Haiti. And finally, ask that the government give them a 6-month stamp on their passport as CARICOM nationals. Now, Tuckett's view is that Haiti is a full-fledged CARICOM member state, and its people, once they have no criminal issues or criminal history or offenses or anything committed, should be allowed a mandatory stay of 6 months when they've entered into the jurisdiction of another member state. Tuckett claimed that the Federation is not upholding the revised Treaty of Chagaramas. As I've mentioned, there are persons who are for, persons who are against. I saw comments of people welcoming and supporting this. We have to look out for our fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters. We know of the present situation in Haiti. We know that they are experiencing significant challenges in terms of their politics, governance, health, national security, safety, and the list goes on and on. So for people who are for, that is the argument being advanced by them. For those who are against, questions have been raised about, whether we are in a position to, support these individuals. Now, we have some callers coming in, so we're going to head to the phone lines and we'll take these calls. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Mr. Cornelius, good afternoon. I think I hear talking about a new hospital.
Yes, the government here in St. Kitts is proposing a new hospital, and they have identified a possible site, as noted by the Prime Minister.
Well, to me, right, I don't think St. Kitts needs a new hospital, What I need to do, fix the hospital, get some doctors and nurses, and just renovate the hospital. If we're going to get a new hospital, you got to got doctors and nurses. So I want to know, as Prime Minister, Mr. Joe, if he plans to take at least 10 young people from the Pittsburgh and College when they finish and send them to study doctor, because you can't have a state-of-the-art hospital and don't have no doctors and no qualified nurses. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
So we
following
need
you.
to start to work on that now.
Yeah.
In the hospital, you don't send for nobody from overseas to come to work in the hospital. You got young people there. Send them when out for training. You, as coming from a doctor, you need to get these things together. We don't need a new hospital. I ain't see nothing wrong with the hospital. Just fix it up and leave it. I mean, we don't need a new hospital right now. That is how I see it. Just fix the hospital and leave it, and use the money for something else. You got some people, you look outside the house look all and wonder, but when you go inside, they have everything in there. The hospital could do the same thing. Just get some new equipment in the hospital and some qualified nurses. Start to get your duck in a row now. If you're going to build a state-of-the-art hospital, send children away to study for doctor, because right now I hear a lady on a radio station the other night, and she was talking about certain doctors getting there in the hospital. So we need to get that together before we plan a state-of-the-art, because the hospital will be there, but what happened to that? We don't have no doctors, no nurses, and no equipment in the hospital. So, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I'm following you. Yes.
Yes, and the young people, them not went out to study. I mean, saying the time qualified, smart people, very, very smart. Train them now, send them overseas now, so if you plan to build in your hospital, then you got the nurses and doctors them ready for when the hospital ready. I don't see we want a new hospital right now. And this case in Nevis, to me, the case going to try on the radio before the judge. And that's never fear. Because to me, how I look at it, this thing now was supposed to discuss on no radio station, especially coming from the premier. He's the first person that you say the case going through because what and what. I mean, you don't do that. When you got certain cases, you don't discuss it on the radio because you don't try right there. So right now, them people who do crime and things, you need to drop some time off just because of how the case went. That's not fair. You coming from, you the premier, you should have never discuss the conversation on the radio. Or you going to strike out because it's, no. Somebody a caller could call in and say, but you, as the premier, should have never discussed them kind of thing. That is all I got to say. So, Prime Minister Joe, if you're going thinking about a state-of-the-art hospital, please send some of our young people away to study for doctors. We need them. Don't send for nobody from overseas when the hospital finish to do the job. We hide them right there in St. Kitts right now, okay? And that's all I got to say. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening to me.
All right, caller, and thank you so much for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Again, caller, thank you for your contribution. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. As it relates to the hospital, that is my view in terms of sourcing nurses and getting doctors to specialize, general practitioners to specialize in areas that are needed here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have a shortage when it comes around to nurses, and first you have to encourage people to enter the field of nursing. And for those who are desirous of entering the field of nursing, I believe providing them with assistance, financial or otherwise, I would be very beneficial to the country. We have our people here who are interested. They just need the assistance to get it done. I know there are people who are studying at the CFBC. I think they are receiving assistance from the government to pursue their studies in the field of nursing. I am of the view that a new hospital isn't necessarily going to correct or fix all of the issues that presently plague the healthcare system, but I believe for the most part it would be welcomed. But apart from bringing a new hospital or building a new hospital, there are other areas that we must look at in the healthcare system. Nurses, doctors, more so nurses, and making healthcare affordable. I think those are two of the major concerns for people in St. Kitts and Nevis. But if healthcare is on the list of priorities for the administration, that is very good. But fixing or addressing those two issues, I think, definitely will be welcomed. Let's send back to the phone lines and we will take this call. Okay, we lost that caller. Please call us back, 466-0989 or 662-0989. Again, I welcome the idea of a new hospital, but can't bring it and not address the other issues. The caller mentioned, nurses, doctors, and other areas. Those areas have to be addressed, have to be looked at if we're going to get a new hospital. Let's take this caller. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. You good too?
I'm awesome, man.
All right, man. I call in here to give my support to the female caller there just before me. 100%. I back in her with her input what she make. Now, let me start here with the hospital. Do you realize according to the information and the news, up there in Turkey, where the earthquake mashed up, already the amount of dead is more than St. Kitts' population. And I heard it last week on BBC that 50,000 dead already up there, dead on count from the earthquake. That is more than our population here. And we don't need no new hospital because our hospital never overpopulated with patients yet. Never. Never. So where you going to build a new hospital? They got space in the back of the hospital, Joseph and France Hospital. If they want to do anything, you could add a wing behind you. Where you going to build a new hospital for new land? All the land them in St. Kitts, as they used to claim, is aquifer underneath there. So where you going to put hospital again? They make arguments that the new school cannot be built because we plant aquifer land. But where in St. Kitts is not the aquifer. The whole of Bastille is on the aquifer. We don't need that. He said the country in red financially. Where he going to get money from to go build a new hospital? Country in red? That is a lie. Country in red. If country in red, why he take up 15 people in the first 100 days in office and get them New York and the country in red? He must stop it. And I am calling on him as the leader of the country to make the Attorney General step down with the breach where he do with the Social Security money and the woman the nanny who was working there with him. And he condoned that. He need to tell him stop down from there because the Attorney General is the first person after the law to make law. And he know what he do. He know what he do. And then he got him there in Parliament talking about integrity in public life and all this kind of thing. He condoning wrong. We don't need a new hospital. And now, let me go to the Haitian them now. I agree that everybody running, a lot of people running from the country because of economic reasons. But coming in my country the right way, which is legal. You can't smuggle in and come in and then you expect people to say, well, okay, let us stay. No, if you're going to let them to come in the country illegal and you're going to let them stay, well, therefore, anybody who import marijuana to sell, you ain't supposed to lock them up neither. A certain amount of marijuana, they say it is wrong and it is illegal. So how are you going to lock up people for marijuana? And people who are found here with illegal gun, but I mean they shouldn't lock them up neither because everything is illegal. Just like how people have to license their gun if you want to have a gun. Let the people who want to come to our country come in the right way. Then they would be accepted. You can't smuggle in, so. So if everybody, because all of us are the Caribbean and OECS and all of this, everybody must rush in our little land. Wrong, and then we represent them and let them stay. That is wrong. Come the right way. Thank you, Mr. Cornelius.
And thank you, caller, for your contribution to this program. We are still taking your calls right here on WINN-FM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Mr. Cornelius, I forget to mention one thing. What we like to see the Minister of Healthcare do is to fix the Bastille Health Center. From the time my little girl growing up, that was the only health center in Bastille. Everybody from Mountain Newtown used to use a health center. And I got on there the other day, and the only thing I see new is the notice them. They're sitting on bench still. I mean, he need a facelift, please. It looks very, very unloved. When I look inside and I say, oh my God, just look when I used to come here, go pull teeth and thing when I a little girl. Same thing. Need to fix, please. I'm begging because that only health center in Bastion. Everybody used to go to the health center. And I got on there, and only some nurses. Everything inside. Whether give the medicine, the bathroom, the door. I tell the nurse saying, "I help us out." She tell me to call on the radio and help them out, but he need to have a facelift. So they could leave the hospital right now and fix that, because that also who use at the hospital. So I calling on the Minister of Health. That's all by the bud paper office. The books them they smell moldy. Bye.
All right, Colin, thank you for your contribution to this program. The phone lines are open. We're taking your calls at 466-0989. This is WINNFM 98.9 Voices for Monday, February 27, 2023. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the participant or caller and do not reflect the views of WINNFM 98.9. WINNFM reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who, in WINNFM's considered opinion, is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air. Welcome back to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call.
Hey, good afternoon, Devon.
Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I am on here, but just wake up. I'm getting old. So, I missed the first part of the session.
Yeah.
Now, I want to address two issues.
Sure, go ahead.
Tomorrow, as you know, has been declared as a National Day of Prayer.
Yes.
Will WINNFM be participating?
Yes.
Oh, from what time?
I believe it's from 7 a.m. I stand to be corrected. But I think it's from 7 a.m. But I'll confirm that.
That is good. Because our nation really needs prayer, you know. But it's not just road prayer. We've got to first start by repenting. Acknowledge that we have sinned against God and against each other. And ask Him to have mercy on us. Because every time you turn on the radio or the television, all you hear is disaster. And nobody knows when the turn will come. You know, and 2 Chronicles 7:14 said, if my people will humble themselves.
Sorry.
And pray.
Call it not to cut you off. I just got a correction. 6 a.m.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, then. So I hope that is listening, huh?
Yeah, from 6 a.m. Thank you.
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. And I want to encourage our people to participate. And if somebody say, oh, man, I'm a Christian and I don't know how to pray. Well, you could just say amen. When you pray, you say amen. Amen means you agree. So I am glad for that. And repenting got to start from the top, you know. Not just people on the road and who we think is bad must pray. Everybody must pray. Because all of us need God's mercy. Now, to the NRP matter, I think I heard on this morning show that the matter was thrown out. That's the correct word?
Yes, so it was my understanding, because I was following the social media account platform for the Premier, who was one of the respondents. According to him, the matter was struck out.
Struck out, is it right?
Yes, it was struck out today. From my understanding, you know, because they were filing technicalities in terms of being late and other issues surrounding the filing process. Remember when I gave the report, I'm not sure if you were listening at the time, the lawyers were arguing over the 21-day. It appears as if they were 1 day late. They were outside of the 21-day window, and so, you know, you can't go forward. 21 days is 21 days.
I recall, as I don't know if you know, years ago, maybe 2008, somewhere around here, when Mr. Astafan was taken to the court on an election petition matter. And because at that time, the Constitution says that you cannot hold dual citizenship and run for election. You know that, right?
Yes, I am aware.
He then held too, because he has a Canadian citizenship. But the young man who took the matter to court lost because 21 days had passed.
Okay.
So I wonder so the precedent was set already, yeah?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Was set already because the matter was taken to court and decided upon. Now, has the NRP decided their next move?
I don't know.
Or they haven't put out anything yet?
No, I don't know.
It would be interesting to hear what their next move is. You know, so. All right, then.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. It is 8 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour here in our studios for today, Monday, February 27, 2023. For those of you who just joining the program, for the first hour, I was on the topic of the Prime Minister, who also has responsibility for health, pictured at what he described as a possible site for the construction of a new hospital here in St. Kitts, that is in the vicinity of the Ross Medical University, and the election petitions filed by representatives of the NRP, J.D. Keynes and Dr. Patricia Bartlett, struck out today in the High Court by Justice Patrick Thompson Jr. Of course, I also made mention of the attorney at law, Craig Tuckett, seeking asylum for Haitian detainees. The phone lines are open and your calls are welcomed at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That is 466-0989 or 662-0989. Your thoughts, your views, and opinions on this program. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Yes, that is a topic I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
The one with the filing for the asylum for the Haitians. Now, with due respect, Craig is my friend, but that to me is a political move. I am sure Craig was something for the PLP.
Communications director.
Yes. Whole 13 of them, they deported. He wasn't aware of it. I mean, we got to be realistic. You know, did you know Dr. House had deported the 13 that they found over in the house?
Yes.
In Keys, yes.
Yes, okay.
Well, didn't those they deserve to be represented? I know, you know, our people, I don't understand us. And some of us, we don't understand what's going on. The economy has not recovered as yet. It has not even halfway recovered. So when we send the message that come, all of you come, who want to come, come. Then we come on the radio and we criticize, or we can't get the work, and the Spanish get the work, and the Haitians get the work, and nothing but chaos. I mean, Craig knows better. It sounds praiseworthy, you know, but for heaven's sake, Craig is I think it's more than even 13. They under unity were deported. Nations. Nevis now, poor Nevis.
Well, I have a number of questions, you know, as it relates to that, because I you know, I read the article in terms of what was said by Mr. Tuckett, and I have questions. No, it noted in the article that he said that he's asking for asylum, right, for them to stay in St. Kitts because of the present situation. He said that, the last point that he made, which is a legal claim or legal position that he's taking, is that he's asking the government to give them a 6-month stamp on their passports.
Are we going to get them out? You see what happened is Grenada, it happened the other day, right? Grenada said they come in, they don't even have a penny, they don't got no credit card, no debit card, no means of supporting themselves. So he shipped them back to Trinidad where they came from. What has Trinidad done? I don't know. I mean, it is good to be sympathetic, eh?
Yes, that is true.
It's good to be sympathetic. And as members of CARICOM, they really should. I don't think they need visas, do they?
No, they don't.
Right. So all they have to do is to come legally. If you're entitled to come legally. Because with Haiti in such a chaos, I mean, anytime anybody ease back the door, you're going to be flooded. And the same people who talking going to turn against the people. They're going to forget that they're black. They're going to forget what's going on in Haiti. Whenever they themselves find themselves disadvantaged, you hear the cry. I'm sure you hear the cry about right now our people can't get work, but the foreign enterprises hiring the Spanish over us. And the same argument.
I understand what you're saying. If it is that they came from Dominica, I see nothing wrong with deporting them back to Dominica and allowing Dominica to sort that out. If they have citizenship for Dominica, then that's another matter. In the same breath, though, helping out our Haitian brothers and sisters because we are aware of the issues that are ongoing in Haiti, that too I can understand. But I'm trying to listen to both sides of the argument. What I can understand is them getting a 6-month stamp in their passport. If it is that they came here because they came here illegally, right?
They said they were going shopping to St. Martin. So this is what was said in the news, right?
Yes, that's.
I said if they're going shopping, for heaven's sake, just put them back on the boat, let them go St. Martin to shop. So they wasn't coming here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If they're going shopping, why hold them up? Wouldn't you have just say, all right, if you all need some food stuff here, I say Martin is around the corner. And then to send things all over the place. I mean, send letter to this one, that one, petition. I said, Lord God, my good friend. The Bible said, do not let your good be evil spoken of. Don't let your good be evil spoken of. Because the question must be asked, where were you? Were you unaware of the 13 or the whatever? And the next set who came in. Where were you when they were being deported? They were held in the prison, you know. And those who came in during the election to vote, under whose auspices? People say a lot of Haitians come in. I have nothing against Haitians, because Haitians black like me. But we have got to face the fact. In a lot of countries where refugees go in and the economy is in poor shape, it leads to ill treatment of the people, and I would not condone it. I don't condone people taking advantage of the Dominicans, you know, and paying them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's abuse. They work them, they wouldn't pay them. A lot of men you see work on construction site. They are being paid below the legal wage. And nobody does anything about it, and they know it. They know it. So when some people say, oh, you know, because they're black, that is no excuse. We can help them. But as Grenada said, they can't even look after their own. If they could have looked. So maybe since they were going shopping, I mean, how does that sound to you?
It doesn't make
any sense. So what kind of store you all have in Nevis? You all have St. Martin's store over there?
Carla, the whole thing doesn't really make any sense to me, and I'm being honest, I'm being frank. You know, you leave Dominica to go to St. Martin to go shopping. You end up in Nevis.
I'm walking, going. They know where they were going.
Yeah, the whole thing is just, there are a number of questions. There are more questions than answers in this.
I know, but what bothered me with my good friend Craig thing is that he's sending our country to different agencies and so. Is he aware of the repercussion? They say somebody said you have to take them. And darling, they will come on a cruise ship. And if I was in Haiti, I would come. Wouldn't you come? It's time enough for the Haitians to begin to get themselves together. While I don't support going in and taking over the people's country, something has to be done. You just can't have some out of other people holding the whole country and the million of people at ransom. Something has to be done.
All right, then.
All right.
Well, Carla, thank you for your contribution to this program. But I was saying, I have questions. The part about the government giving them a 6-month stamp. If it is that you came, and I'm just attempting to get a better understanding of the whole situation. If it is that you've entered the country illegally, right? Whether you entered without the proper documents, or you entered at a point or at a location that is not deemed an official port or point, port of entry, right? My question is, it says government give them a 6-month stamp. I don't think they have any passports with them because they came via a fishing boat. Perhaps they had passports when they left Dominica and they were on their way to St. Martin. So I'm stating that could be the case. But my take on this, I would say send them back to Dominica, allow Dominica to deal with that, and if they were going to St. Martin to go for shopping, fine. At the same time, there are still criminal charges or whatever charges that they would have to face because according to the law, you've entered the country illegally. You've not entered the country through an official port of entry, and so there will be charges in that regard. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Now, Devon, here is my take on what is going on, and I'm gonna just let me say good afternoon to Mrs. Henry and all listening. This is Journey here. The war in Ukraine is used as a proxy for for NATO to get their military border closer to Russia. Now, we heard what the Prime Minister of Canada wants to send troops into Haiti. Everything that is going on, Devon, there is agenda. There's a narrative behind all that is happening. You know, you can go way back to when different presidents and most of all the European countries, simply because Toussaint Louverture whooped Napoleon in Haiti. So what Europe and America, Canada is saying to Haiti, never again a black man is going to beat a white man. Yvonne, we have our own here in the Caribbean, Hillary Beckles, who've been pleading. And you know what all of those European countries says? They are not going to respect Haiti unless France respects Haiti. These people create chaos. They create narrative because they are in control of news media. So they feed us with their own agenda. We have to start look beyond all that is happening in Haiti because they create destabilization anywhere, almost everywhere where black people are inhabited, and most of the time, Devon, it is all because of the minerals. And let us not forget, again, that I repeat this, that Toussaint Louverture and Dessalines whipped Napoleon in Haiti. And if you look at the role of NATO, NATO have subtle way of saying, well, let us make an example. Yvonne, the earthquake in Turkey, right? Turkey does not support Finland and Sweden joining NATO. They want to get closer to the Russian border to put down their military base, and Putin been telling them all along, no. So whoever comes up against NATO or who refuse NATO, NATO make an example out of them. The last president of Haiti was assassinated. And everyone can interpret the news that they feed us with to their own interpretation. But you have to look at the role of NATO over the years, what NATO has done. Even Jovenel Moïse, he wasn't against the vaccine, and he was assassinated. John Pombe Magufuli of Tanzania did not approve of the vaccine. He was assassinated. Therefore, we have lost almost 6 African presidents in the last 2 years. Now, what if those presidents was white? What would have happened? And we got to get real. We so got to get real. And let our voices be heard, because this system cannot continue. They would feed us with their own narrative on their news platform because they control that. But it's high time we start looking beyond what they're feeding us with. Thank you for hearing me.
And thank you, caller, for your contribution to this program. We're taking your calls right here on WINNFM 98.9. This is Voices for Monday, February 27, 2023. We'll take a break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will take some more calls.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Horseroads Building and Nevis Centers are making lawn and garden easy. Come to Horseroads Building and Nevis Center now and get 25% off store-wide on our entire lawn and garden department. Yes! For the months of February and March, Horseroads Building Center and Nevis Center is making improving your lawn and garden easy with 25% off all garden supplies, garden equipment, garden accessories, including weed eaters, lawnmowers, and much more. Get 25% off all lawn and garden items happening now at Horseroads Building Center in St. Kitts and Nevis. Horseroads Building and Nevis Centers, making home improvement easy.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any anytime. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life. And guess what? Pay your loan online during the month of February for a chance to win a special prize. So, what are you waiting for? Pay your loan online.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. It's Monday, February 27, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. Again, thank you for joining the conversation. Those of you who may have joined the program late, we were on the topic of the new hospital, the election petitions, the issues with the Haitians, what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. We have one more caller, so we'll take this final call and then we'll wrap up the conversation for today. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air. Yeah. Go ahead, quickly.
Okay, yeah. Devon?
Go ahead.
Now, let me ask you a question. Don't you think someone, if not all, of those Haitians have relatives back in Haiti? Of our good close friends? Because these here allow to get the asylum approved and they get a stamp in the passport, they're going to call their relatives and friends back in Haiti and tell them about their experience. And if those in Haiti now say, okay, you get you, so these here will tell them how to go about getting here like them. And suppose they come now with illegal thing, with illegal gun and illegal drugs. What going to happen? Is a chain of breaking the law going to happen down the line? So I come back again with the same thing. Wrong is wrong and right is right. We are not discriminating against them because they run from the country and come here. But we have to protect our country too. You can't cook food and then don't feed your children them and feed your neighbor one them and the children them hungry. No, you got to feed your children first. And while you're feeding them, you don't go too heavy. You leave back a little to give your neighbor one them to help them. When you look at the behavior back in Haiti, you remember a couple years ago, 17 Christian missionaries, they hold them at ransom up there. And the Christian, they may do them nothing wrong and bad. The Christian, they were trying to teach them the way forward to go. And they didn't care about that. So therefore, what you do in your yard is what you're going to do in somebody's yard. Devon, you have a good day. Thank you very much.
All right, caller, you too, and thank you for your contribution to this program. This has been another edition of Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9 for Monday, February 27, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Please remember, don't drink and drive, and certainly don't text and drive. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is